tell you why it's a good morning. Wow, winter's coming early, man. I don't know about my eastern cousins. But, we didn't get it like Alberta and Saskatchewan. We got it. Wow. But yeah, Greta, winter's here, man. Are you sailing back through the North Atlantic? Or is that just like a summer trip during the heat of the season? So I was watching news this morning. I saw something from the Hamilton police. I thought that was in TO where the old lady got attacked. Or terrorized, I should say. And it's funny, I'm not sure which guy brought this up, but I've seen it on a couple. I put the links up on my Facebook. Yeah. And so, harmless little old lady. Apparently, the Hamilton police, because it was in Hamilton over at Bernier meeting, yeah, there's a lawful excuse to terrorize little old ladies because we're having an election and we have a man of the people actually running, and the propaganda media centers that are bought and paid for by you and I through the elites that figure that they own your ass and run this and run everybody. That's exactly corrupt. There has to be a cleanup on corruption. You know, there has to be. But I may soon be with the Republic of Alberta, so you know, I'm not gonna say I don't care. After all the years of growing pains, you know, and coming into ourselves as a nation 100 years ago during the First World War. You know, that's when we banded together, we died together, we bled together, we came home disabled together. I mean, this was our forefathers. So here's a young man standing by, partaking in the terrorism of a little old lady. And he's wearing a shirt, right? And it has this innuendo of like Indian children or something on it. The only shirt. I'll post the link on this vid. You can tell me. But okay, you know, it says all children matter or something. So I guess little old ladies don't matter, or white little old ladies don't matter, or maybe. Apparently, this guy is Assyrian. Now, I don't know if he was born on this land, or if he came in, or if we invited him in and said, welcome to our family. You know, Canada is here to help during the complete disaster of Syria. Like, guys, look at Syria. Go, you know, just do some searching. Their city's fully destroyed. I mean, it's heartbreaking. I listened to a documentary. It was put on by a young man that did get here from Syria. His family's separated. He has family in Turkey and family in Lebanon, I believe. You know, so I see these folks, and they're basically put up in the, you know, the older motels where they kind of have units, you know, or like 2 apartment kind of units, you know, and it's showing these families, and you know, it broke my heart, right? Because here's these families and people, they seem to be just folks, you know, barbers and shop owners and stuff back in their homeland, and now they are here and their families being separated and stuff. Now, why would any so why would that man come here after allowing the ruination of his own country, and you can blame it on whoever you want. I mean, did Syria become the way it is because people kept their head in the sand? Because people who were too scared to stand up for what was right, and now the world is cleaning up the mess cleaning up the mess. So now we are obligated, and I got nothing against saving lives and helping out in times of like complete catastrophe. But okay, so here's a nation of folks that kept their head in the sand. They all lived in fear, kept their head down. Next thing you know, the country is totally destroyed. And all right, we're bringing them in, but now we have a young man from Syria, terrorizing the little ladies on our streets. Like, you weren't happy with the destruction of your own nation? That you needed to come here and begin the destruction of our nation? Because you can? Because we have a corrupt elite government using you as an excuse to destroy our nation? And we're not supposed to say anything? Check out that video. It'll be in the link. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it already. But yeah, you see this guy said all kinds of protests, all kinds of demonstrations. Now, I know there are professionally paid protesters. Who finances that group, Antifa? Now, Antifa cannot stand for, like, you can't stand for anti-fascists because they are fascists. Like, their actions prove them to be fascists. In fact, who's financing that terror organization? And ask yourself this, guys. Do we want to allow any George Soros-funded operations on our land? Because he's been since kicked out of 6 countries, including the Philippines, which is bringing back the death sentence. And the president of the Philippines told Soros, hey, you come here, man, I'm going to send you back to the hell you came from. So I'm glad to see that people are waking up. You know, it's funny, because, you don't say anything, not much happens. Anybody that sticks their heads up gets it whacked off, right? And then all of a sudden people are saying something. Now, is it because the elitists just got a little too brave and started feeding on their own crap too much, believing that there wasn't a free people that they were affecting, a nation of free people? People need freedom. It's in our nature. It's our inalienable right to be free. We figured this out. Canada figured this out in 1776 or 1778. It was right around the time of the Civil War down in the States. We figured it out. We outlawed slavery in all its forms on this land. And now there's a new type of slavery. Being the slave of the person assigned to you by your elitist rulers, which we used to call public servants. So, but anyways, take a look at this, guys. So finally, I see the cops had something posted up there that we were just minutes behind this little old lady, being terrorized, and yeah, little behind. These guys, you're first in line to take orders, okay, to harm your fellow man, an individual going from point A to point B on this land, with all your statutory creature-like rules and obligations and responsibilities. Never ever recognizing that you're dealing with your fellow man. And I can't say all coppers are the same, but I mean it's progressively gotten worse and worse. And just the fact that when a man or a woman who acts as an officer writes a report that's full of lies and suits is written in a manner that suits some kind of profile they wish to put on you. Like, profiling people should be against the law. I thought profiling somebody was against the law. I thought at one time it was considered that, say a guy makes a mistake and so he ends up in prison or jail or something, and he pays his dues. Okay, his dues are paid, now he gets a fresh start, right? But that doesn't seem to be the way the elitists run society these days. And I'm sure glad that I have the freedom to choose which society that I ascribe to. And, I ascribe to the King Society. And the truth of the matter is, when I became a man, I also became a husband and a father. And that's the only society that I truly ascribe to, and wish to be bound to, because I have a duty, responsibility, and obligation to those folks, and they also have one to me. I am their property. They are my property. I am not the property of Canada. I am not the property of the elites. I'm not voluntarily putting myself into servitude with the elites. They trick us, manipulate us, coerce us into acting as one of their legal persons, and if that's not good enough, then what they do is they shackle us and put us into cages and dungeons until we conform. We're manipulated at court, at their courts, within their judiciary, browbeaten, coerced. I say coerced, but what am I thinking of? Types of extortion. Like I see extortion coming from the legal society on people every day. But what they figure is, well, you're one of our persons, and because I have a higher rank than you do within the office that we both hold, it's within my mandate. And that's how they're screwing you, through the person they presume you to be. Your body is just a security for the person. No thank you. I don't wish. Do I hold certain cards and numbers or licenses? Do I possess certain things like that of the government? You bet. But I will use them when I believe it's a benefit, and I shouldn't have to be forced into using them just because I decided that there was a benefit that I may wish to operate in someday. And if no harm, no foul, no victim, no crime. That is the basis of law of the free world. All right, so here we got this little wannabe terrorist, a Syrian guy. Now, my question is, are there any, is this the culture of his people to go ahead and attack little old ladies, or just because she's a woman, or is it just old people in general? I'd really like to know. Are there any people from his society that has come to Canada because their society got destroyed, so is there anyone from his society willing to go over to that restaurant that he works at or owns or whatever and have a little chat with him about, is there anybody that came from Syria to Canada that would go and have a talk with this young feller, to remind him that, as a professed Syrian, that he also represents that community, and he's making everyone look bad, his fellow man look bad. Now, I don't know if this young man believes in his fellow man. I don't know what he believes in. He certainly doesn't believe in the morality of respecting your elders. It takes me to school. So, okay, let's go to school. Now, our kids are being stressed out about, because they don't know what gender they are, sex they are, who they are. The kids are being taught at school by these self-proclaimed co-parents, which, we should be, after this election, I think there could be a good mandate for us to start suing, the individual man or woman that is promoting all the stress upon our children at school. They got a big thing about no losers, everybody's a winner. They got a big thing about safe spaces and snowflakes. They have a big thing about the end of the world, the end of the world, the end of the world, the end of the world. They have a big thing about you don't know who you are, so we'll try and help you, tell you who you are, instead of just letting a kid be a kid. Kid doesn't even have to have a gender, really. Okay, there's physical differences with the kids, and so we'll keep the bathrooms and changing rooms separate, right? I mean, kids are kids, so let our kids alone. Why don't we have a class on basic morality? Why it's important to respect your elders, why it's important not to cause harm, loss, or injury to your fellow man, why everyone, okay, not personhood, but every young man and woman is equal and has a right to their opinion and has a right to speak freely and express their thoughts freely, whether it's in public, within the public, or whether it's in private. And maybe a morality class on nobody should be condemned for putting their idea forward. Also, in schools, listen, Canada has the most water of any land on this frickin' planet. Learning how to swim can save your life. Now we're paying all this money. Look how much money that we give this so-called propaganda youth, this Hitler youth propaganda, corrupt crown, corporate school, publicly funded schools money. Look how much we pay. And are we paying, so that our children can learn how to swim? Swimming could save your life, and knowing how to swim could save somebody else's life. Or do we have basic first aid taught in the schools, the importance of saving your fellow man's life? Do we have that? Oh, hey, my Librano sign's still up. Nobody yanked it. It's good in there between the sellout conservatives and the liberals. I'm having a lot more respect for the NDP right now, and I've never, ever considered voting NDP just because of the platform. They're a sellout to big business. They don't care about workers. They just kind of use the worker. I mean, they used to be strong union style, but now they're just another bunch of corporate flakes, scared of losing their $280,000 paycheck a year, for ruling over the little people, being paid for by the little people. Saying, you were in a position, you were actually in a position where you could have been the greatest of your people. You could have represented the Sikh nation, like as a Canadian, which you are, and I know you are, but you could have represented your people. And such, man, you had a pedestal. You have a national pedestal, and all you've done is sell out. And I guess you're selling out to the Chinese now. You're scared of the Chinese, right? You're scared of the Chinese government? How much are they funding you? Anyways, no, you're probably scared of Antifa and the communist separatist groups that wish to take over this nation, shut down free speech, take our guns away, shut down the right to travel, the right to access public roads. Do you guys know that is a right? Do you know that's a right? This is not a cop's highway. I've had cops say, well, why should I let you continue down my highway? Well, fucking, it's not your highway. It belongs to the public, and we all have a right. So anyways, what I'm asking for is, my fellow man that has come here from Syria to go have maybe a customary talk with that young Syrian fella. Maybe have a chat towards, I don't know your customs and values, but maybe I'm sure you must have some that are traditional and the way of your people. So maybe you guys could go down there in Hamilton and have a little chat with this guy about harassing little old ladies. I mean, or would that be okay if he did it to your mama, your grandmama, or your great-grandmama? I don't know, but that woman was quite old. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? He's going to go to court and just go, oh, nobody told me I can't use a hockey stick to beat my old lady. Is that what's going to happen? The judge will, yeah, okay, poor guy here, I'll let you go. Make sure you collect your welfare check and smoke those very expensive cigarettes and do nothing but suck off the working class. So I'm not coming against these poor folks that had to leave, but I am using you as an example of what happens if my fellow man, my brothers and sisters and cousins and aunts and uncles of this land put their head in the sand and we don't stand, we could end up just like Syria. We could end up just like them. A destroyed nation. A frickin' destroyed nation. We stand now. We stand now. We're at the peak now. We're at the tipping point. Hey, just talked to a Polish immigrant that came here from Poland, and Poland was communized. Let them tell you about, free press. Why don't you interview some Polish immigrants? Let them tell you about communist Poland. Yeah, anybody that came here. One of my best friend's dad in the 1950s with his daughter on his back in the frigid winter in the snow, crawled under a half a dozen barbed wire fences, eluding the armed guards of the border to get out of Hungary, to get to Canada. And he loves this country, and my brother, my friend, he's a total asset to this country. And when his dad made it here, he met his mom, and that's so he has a half sister from Hungary, and he's Canadian too. But yeah, talk to anybody from these communist countries that have immigrated to our nation and became part of our culture and became part of our nation. Anyways, I'm going to drop this, but if there's any real men, of high morals in Hamilton, of Syrian descent, if it is part of your culture to attack little old ladies and terrorize little old ladies on the street, fine, don't do a damn thing. But if that man is embarrassing your people and the nation that you came from within our nation, I'm calling on you guys to maybe go have a chat with him. Maybe just get it across to him that's not the way to act here. Thanks, guys.